The Eternals is Marvel Studios' newest movie that is currently in theaters, and people either love it or they hate it. Yeah, it's pretty split, but that's a discussion for a different day. Rather, in this video, we will be discussing the top 5 Eternals comics/stories that you should read. Whether or not you loved or hated the movie is completely irrelevant. If you are that person who walked out of the movie and found that the Eternals or the concept of them to be fascinating and you want to know more beyond the MCU, then this video is definitely for you. But before we continue, let's do some house cleaning. So yeah, what's going on, beautiful people? And welcome back to another comic book related video. I'm your majestic sayer of words, Supercliff, and if you guys are new to this channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell so that you'll never miss out on an upload, and so that you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. Okay, so let's get to it. Now, in case you guys don't know, here's a quick recap as to who and what the Eternals are. The Eternals were created by the majestic wonder of mankind, Jack Kirby. They are a race of immortal beings who were created by the Celestials, a sort of offshoot of the evolutionary process of Earth's sentient life, aka human beings. The Celestials basically wanted the Eternals to be the defenders of Earth, essentially to serve as caretakers, guiding mankind throughout history and to protect them against their destructive counterparts, the burnt cookies of the Marvel Universe, aka the Deviants. It was also through the Eternals where Kirby got to really dive into the whole concept and history of the Marvel Universe. And in case you didn't know, Jack Kirby was definitely a man ahead of his time. He had great respect and imagination when it came to science fiction and mythology. The man's favorite book was Chariots of the Gods, which is a book that involves the thesis that religions, technological advancements, and ancient civilizations were ideas given to man by ancient astronauts, whom humanity viewed as gods. To put it short and simple, the Eternals. Therefore, you should definitely read or at least check out parts of Jack Kirby's original Eternals run from 1976. It spans about 19 issues, as well as an annual. And yes, this story is definitely not a page-turner. It's very much a product written by Jack Kirby in 1976. So a lot of the characters in this will not be talking like in today's world. Rather, they'll be saying things like, "You fool!" and etc. But besides that, it will provide you with the Kirby concept visually, as well as the main cast of Eternals, such as Ikaris, Circe, Makari, Thena, as well as the villainous Deviant General, Crow. And yeah, the Deviants do not look like Michael Bay monsters. Rather, they're stupid looking trolls. So yeah, if you're intrigued with the Eternals, definitely check out their beginnings here. Next, we have Thor and the Eternals, the Celestial Saga. Now, a thing to keep in mind is when the Eternals first showed up in Marvel Comics, a lot of the people reading comics then were not too big on the whole Kirby Marvelization of Chariots of the Gods. So what does Marvel do when people don't like a product? And when monthly sales are down, they cancel the book. And so when it came to Kirby's original run, the storyline regarding the fourth host wasn't concluded. So if you wanted to know how that was going to turn out and whether or not the Celestials provided their final judgment of all life on Earth, then you definitely want to check out the story, as it's also a Thor story as much as it is an Eternals. Plus, Thor's journey will bring him face to face with the Eternals for the very first time, bringing their race into the bigger fold of the Marvel Universe. Plus, with Thor being a god, it brings an interesting mix since the Eternals are essentially gods themselves. Thor and the Eternals, the Celestial Saga, collects Thor issues 283 through 301, along with Thor Annual issue number 7. Following a 20-year absence of having their own series, Marvel's Immortal Beings make a comeback with a 7-issue limited series by the majestic award-winning writer Neil Gaiman. And if you're someone who goes to the bookstore and looks around the graphic novel section, then you've definitely seen this book on the shelves. Gaiman took Kirby's concepts of the Eternals and turned them upside down, basically remaking these characters for the 21st century. So a lot of the dialogue isn't so cringy. There's no "I am Ikaris, by my power fly into the sun, slay thy demons for space gods." No one's talking like that. Plus, this book definitely brought inspiration for the film, especially with regards to how the Eternals have been mingling organically with mankind. Also, the art is drawn by John Romita Jr., who I am not a fan of. However, his blocky figure take with his character design works exceptionally well with Kirby's vision, especially when it comes to the Celestials. Next up on our list is the 2000 to 2009 Eternal series by Charles and Daniel Knopf, which is a total of 9 issues, with the last 3 being tie-ins to an X-Men event, as well as an annual issue. Now honestly, this is one of the more forgettable Eternal stories. However, the reason I bring this up is because 1, it's a modern Eternal story, and 2, the art is beautiful. A lot of the shots are legitimate inspirations from moments that were shown in the film. And whether or not you liked or hated the movie, one thing that I'm sure every single one of us can agree on is the fact that the Eternals is the best looking Marvel movie since ever in the history of mankind. So yeah, if you want some sexy action featuring the Eternals, then definitely check this out. And lastly, on our top 5 list is the current Eternal series by writer Karen Gillan with the art by Asab Ribic. And so far this series is 7 issues in with 2 one-shots, Thanos Rises and Celestial. And listen up here folks, because this series is legit. Honestly, if you weren't a fan of the Eternals in comics prior, then this will definitely be the series that gets you. Not only is the narrative great and the art spectacular, but the series dives deeper into the Eternals, morally speaking, as heroes. Sort of gives them a foundation to work from and to feel more relatable with the readers, which has always been a problem for the Eternals since their inception. However, rather than treating them as science fiction characters, somehow Kieran Gillen achieves his goal by adding stakes for the characters, along with adding additional focus to how the Eternals as a race function. You know, because they're not a nation like the X-Men, or a secret weird cult-like society like the Inhumans. Rather, they're a group of parts. Also, Thanos is a main character within the series, because in case you guys didn't know, Thanos is an Eternal. However, he carries the Deviant gene within him, so hence his purple face and nutsack of a chin. But yeah guys, those are my top 5 must-read Eternal comics / stories that y'all should definitely check out if you're vibing for more Eternals. And so, if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button in order to show your support to the channel. And tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on the Eternals? Are you guys reading the current Eternals series? Would you guys like a follow-up to the Eternals movie? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace.